Hey folks, what's good with it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And you know I can check to see if I can hear me. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I can hear me. Let me see. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, yep. I can hear myself. What's good with it? What's good with it? We got paperwork drop. I'm gonna get to it so I can go and get through it. Gonna get up off here. Let me do a chat call real quick. Hey, Dolores, you was first. Whoa! Shantae, what's up? Low end to the no end. Let me get it going. Let me pull it up. I'm actually a little sleepy. I definitely won't be on here all night. Okay, we got this from J-Bo. Now, this is from New York. So, what the hell is going on? 'Cause shit. Lord, honey. She working day and night. All right, so this is from J-Bo. She says, please accept this letter in response to the government's motion seeking a new proton. Okay, so seeking a new proton. So that means that it's something that happened retroactively, right? Something happened retroactively. So let's see, an order allowing it to confiscate, nearly all the funds contained in Mr. Kelly's inmate trust account. Okay. So she must be seeking for them to possibly change the date instead of retroactively the funds, maybe setting it to a date that's earlier, right? Maybe a date that would correspond with the order. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. It says on August 4th, 2022, a reporter from the Washington Post contacted undersigned counsel for a comment about an article he was writing concerning the seizure of funds in inmate trust accounts for the purpose of paying court ordered judgments. And I told you that there is a area in which a lot of this, the legal stuff, a lot of times where I get a lot of my stuff at, where I used to know something was coming for R. Kelly a long time ago before, you know, it hit the streets or whatever. And and that's the same place where the media gets their notifications and things of that nature, right? So you see, the media had it before she had it, and she's his attorney. All right, it says, well, let me start. It says on August 4th, 2022, a reporter from the Washington Post contacted undersigned counsel for comment about an article he was writing concerning the seizure of funds in inmate trust accounts for the purpose of paying court ordered judgments. During that conversation, it became clear to the undersigned counsel that the reporter obtained confidential information from the BOP concerning the balance of funds in Mr. Kelly's trust account. Again, you see how she tried to, sneak that in, like the BOP is doing things that's unethical. All right, because that's not necessarily unless he told. I mean, I doubt a reporter said, "Yeah, I got the information that I wasn't supposed to get from the BOP." No, he probably got it from many other sources. And it says the information was published in a Washington Post article that same day. Within hours of the publication, the BOP confiscated all the funds excepting $500 from Mr. Kelly's trust account without a court order. without notice, without filing a lien on the property, without filing a notice of default, and without providing a receipt to Mr. Kelly. The government now concedes that it directed the BOP to seize over $27,000 of Mr. Kelly's property, absent the statutory authority to do so and absent any order from this court. Only after undersigned counsel sent an email to the AUSAs about this unlawful garnishment of funds did the office bother to file a motion with this court seeking leave to restrain funds funds that is already confiscated. And again, when you seek leave, when an attorney seeks leave, that means that they are asking the court for permission to do something that's out of out of the normal process. Okay. So she might have a good point here. You know, they had to seek leave to do this. So apparently this wasn't done by the books. All right. Let's see. The court should order the immediate return of Mr. Kelly's funds and further sanction the Office of the United States Attorney and the Bureau of Prison for seizing the funds without lawful authority. Judgment was entered against Mr. Kelly on June 30th, 2022. This court deferred a restitution finding until after a hearing currently scheduled for September 28, 2022. Wow, she got a good point. To date, the government has providing entirely deficient evidence supporting restitution for any of the identified victims. The court further entered an assessment of $900, a $40,000 JBTA assessment, and a fine of $100,000. This court ordered an immediate payment of $900. The court did not enter a payment plan, nor did Mr. Kelly seek one since restitution had not been decided and restitution payments take precedent over court fines. In an unprecedented move, the government asked this court for an order non proton allowing it to seize Mr. Kelly's property for application to the defendant's outstanding criminal penalties, absent any showing of default. The government cites no authority for the proposition that it may seize Mr. Kelly's property without filing a notice of default or a notice of a lien on the property. Furthermore, no authority exists for the contention that the government may seize Mr. Kelly's property for future application toward judgments that have not been entered. Indeed, the government fails to cite any authority that allows this court to enter the order it proposes. Mr. Kelly does not quarrel with the general proposition that a judgment imposing a fine may be enforced against all property of the person fined. Even assuming the government is correct when it argues that Section 3613C provides that a judgment creates a lien in favor of the United States, it does not follow that the government can simply order the BOP to garnish Mr. Kelly's funds without evidence of default and without filing a notice of lien on the property. Indeed, under 18 U.S.C. Section 3613C, the government is required to treat the judgment as if it were a liability for a tax assessed under the Internal Revenue Code. And the IRS collects with everybody, child. The government did nothing more than make a phone call to the BOP, Lord have mercy, directing the warden to confiscate his property. The government cites several cases for the proposition that a defendant may be ordered to commit substantial funds accumulated in his inmate trust account to unpaid restitution. The authority offered by the government is inapplicable here where there has been no restitution order. Critically, the government concedes that pursuant to Section 3613C, The payment of restitution takes precedent over other fines and costs. Because a restitution order has not yet been entered, the government has restrained Mr. Kelly's funds preemptively. Put differently, the funds currently seized cannot be applied toward any court costs since the restitution question has not been resolved. Thus, the government is simply holding Mr. Kelly's funds for future use. No statute or case law allows the government to do so. While victims may have the right to full and timely restitution, they have no right to have the government seize an inmate's funds prior to the entry of a restitution judgment. As to Mr. Kelly's court ordered fines, the government has not demonstrated that Mr. Kelly is in default or that he was provided with notice of default. 18 U.S.C. Section 3613A, 18 U.S.C. Section 3572I. The judgment in this case was entered little more than a month ago and specified that only $900 was due immediately. Oh, but that was a judgment order. Huh. I don't know, J-Bo. Let's see. Without any evidence that Mr. Kelly has defaulted on payment of a fine that was only entered 35 days ago, the government was not permitted to seize Mr. Kelly's trust funds. In United case law, let's see. I guess the Western District of New York in 2018 stated that the government moved the district court to authorize payment from the defendant's trust account in order to satisfy the criminal monetary obligation imposed by the judgment against the defendant. The district court held that because the government has failed to present evidence of default in his payment obligations. Case law. I guess the Western District of Michigan, June 24, 2016, stated that denying the government's motion for an order authorizing the BOP to turn over the defendant's trust account funds to pay a court order fine absent any evidence that the fine is unpaid or in default. In conclusion, the government acted prematurely and without the legal authority when it ordered the BOP to confiscate Mr. Kelly's trust account funds. It now asks this court to sanction this abuse of governmental power in the absence of any restitution order and without any evidence of default in connection with this fine. For the foregoing reasons, this court should deny any government's motion, order the immediate return of Mr. Kelly's property, and sanction the government and the BOP for its unlawful garnishment of Mr. Kelly's property. So there was some footnotes here. Let's see. Okay, number one, Mr. Kelly has been the repeated victim of BOP criminality. Oh, okay. See what I'm talking about? You see how she's getting that in? Every chance she gets, she is taking her, taking a stab at the BOP and any type of violations and any type of violation of his rights in any form of fashion. She's taking to paper and putting it out. That's a good strategy. While defendant was detained in the Chicago MCC prior to his EDNY prosecution, the Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General, DOJ/OIG, opened an investigation into potential criminal violations committed by one or more BOP officers, including potential crimes of unlawful disclosure of sensitive government information, bribery, fraud, theft, narcotics trafficking, money laundering, ethic violations, and other official misconduct after it was discovered that between July 15, 2019 and January 8, 2020, BOP access logs shows that 60 BOP employees accessed defendants' confidential records. See, she's still using that particular description when the government said that description was that of an agent or an affiant. Let me say that because I don't know whether the agent or not. An affiant speaking on his training, but she still elects to use it here. So keep going with it. It says one such BOP employee accessed defendant's confidential records 153 times, even though that employee was not assigned to the MCC. A preliminary investigation revealed that the BOP employee provided sold that stolen information to a well-known YouTube blogger. So even after the boy, this is crazy. So even after the Illinois prosecutors submitted what they stated, which, which was allegedly the results of the investigation that was open, she is still sticking to her script. Number two, contrary to the suggestion of the government, the BOP inmate trust funds deposit fund manual does not grant the BOP or the government the authority to encumber funds without proper legal authority or an order of court. Indeed, the BOP clearly violated the manual when it encumbered Mr. Kelly's funds without any court order. Hold on, let me see if anything else. So we are also, hold on, we still waiting on something from some kind of response with regards to Jim Derrigotti. So we still waiting on that. What's our progress 2 times? Hey, Sonia Davis. Let me put that link in there real quick. So, so um, the YouTube streets are still hot. I'll talk on it for a minute. I'll talk on it for a minute. It is still hot. It's still hot. So, wow. Um, you know, I'll give my take on it, and it's just my take, my my personal feelings or whatever. I'm never a person that likes to pin a jacket on somebody just because I don't like them. You know, I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying I don't like to pin jackets on people that just because I don't like them. I'm not willing to run with whatever it is just because I don't like them. I don't require verification or nothing like that. I ain't that serious to me. I definitely won't put nothing past them, you know. But I just not, that's just not my thing. Although a lot of people do it, I'm not saying that's what happened in this case. That's definitely what I'm saying. Because I don't know. I was in and out, right? Because I was trying to get my shit done. Because y'all see, I was busy today. But I know people, and I'm not saying this is what happened in this case, but I know people that will go along with a damn lie, and they know it's a damn lie, and they just go along with it and help spread it. Come up with all kinds of bullshit, all kinds of goddamn shit that you done heard that done took place in these streets or whatever. Okay, you know, I don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not saying the shit didn't happen or whatever. And I definitely wouldn't put nothing past it that that it could have happened. But I'm not a person that jumps on bandwagons. You know what I'm saying? If it comes out, that because and what I'm saying is it could be some child frustrated or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I got to go back and just rewatch it because I want to see what I truly missed. But I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm not saying that it did happen. I'm just saying, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen. I wouldn't be surprised because motherfuckers grinding whatever shit they do any goddamn thing shit. But I know, you know, I just know how shit works. It's so crazy. When I tell you, and I'm not, and I'm being general, right? I'm being general. But when I tell you, I have, I think, and I might be wrong, but I think that I have had to run across the worst people on this universe. Are Kelly shit. And I'm talking about a lot of people that I've had, outside connection, offline connection with, right? And people that, and some people that I observe, right? I do, I get with your ass, but I have limits, and I ain't gonna do any goddamn thing. That's just not me, right? And I'm not speaking about that. I'm moving on. I'm just talking about my personal experience with people that I have had offline experiences with. People that definitely will stab your ass. They don't wait to stab you in the back. They don't wait till your back turn. They'll stab you in your face. Over the craziest shit. I see people, and this is the crazy shit right here. People actually get mad at others because they talk to or hang with somebody they don't like. Never mind that they, and this is, I keep saying this, never mind that they hang with people that you don't like, that you don't fuck with. And here's the thing, the person that they mad at that you deal with or hang with or whatever, or you talk to or however it is, they used to hang with the motherfuckers too. Yeah. This is the craziest motherfucking place I've ever seen in my life. And the people, it's just the weirdest shit. I'm like, hell no. I mean, fucking 357 mad and have made a personal pledge to be mad forever. That's another thing I don't understand. You got to be mentally thrown off. You gonna be mad at a stranger forever? Oh, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. You really need to motherfucking Google some mental health. Like what the who does that? You got people that play more games than the NBA. They run tell this person something, tell that person something, tell you something, tell everybody something motherfucking different. And then when they caught in the bullshit, you know what they say? Oh man, I would just tell that person something Cause you know why, but that was just bullshit. I was just telling that person because of this, all that bullshit over this online shit. 99.9 point of us don't even know R. Kelly. I ain't never been to his concert, and yet these motherfuckers are doing it all. I'm so glad I am on an island. And shouts out to these people. There have been people who I have come to the conclusion that they weren't about shit earth. And hey, I was raw back then. I'll let you know right up front. You ain't about shit. And here's why. And I had people attack me. Especially when you tell these men about their ass. Those women tear your ass up, honey, about these motherfucking men, baby. Shit. And you be telling the goddamn truth. And shout out to those people who have found out that I was telling the truth about the motherfucker all along and would come back and tell me, Miss Angie, you was telling the truth about that person. This happened. People came back, was telling me that before I got this channel and after. Like, you was telling the truth. Like, yeah. What's good with it? What's good with it? What's it? It's hard being fair and non-biased. If what they're saying is true, prove it. Assassinating Tyson based on a post is as bad as what they're doing to Kelly. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Shabazz. I really do. I get what you're saying. And I mean, I really was in and out. So I wasn't even seeing what they were reading off of or whatever. I was working my ass off and I was listening, to bits and pieces of it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't put it past the nigga. Okay. But that's not because I don't like them. I mean, hey, I don't know these people. I don't know what these people have done. I really don't. It just won't surprise me. Nothing surprises me. And I set out to only deal with the best people, period. And offline, that's what I strive to do. So I'm definitely gonna try to do it online. Once I find out you fucked up, I just moonwalk my ass on the off. You know? Right is right. But when people get in their feelings and don't like you, they lie, exaggerate, spread rumors, and if you ain't smart enough to see, everybody will be guilty. That's how it. That's not how. You're right. You're right, and that's just what I was talking about. I've been a victim of it. I've seen other people be a victim of it. People have concocted, I mean, schemes and plans and shit, and got motherfuckers to go along with it. That's why you got to watch these little groups and the company they keep. It would tell you something. It would tell you something about that person. Because ain't nowhere in hell I'll get caught dead with a lot of these motherfuckers. And that's just being straight up and down. It is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And if you get down like that, that's fine. But I'm not going to do all of that to have nobody's back. I'm not going to be down with no bullshit to have nobody's motherfucking back. And these women around here are the number one motherfucking goddamn people that do that. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, they have some of the sorriest ass niggas back. Do it all. Everything. Nothing is off limit. I'm like, uh-uh. Hell no. That's why, that's why I fuck when I'm up around here. I really would. I secretly be wishing. I'd be like, oh, I wish you was my neighbor, child. So I can go over there and bash your head in on your motherfucking front, on your goddamn door. But it's crazy though, Shabazz. It's crazy. It is crazy. But some of these people ain't about shit. Nobody keeps their word. I'm like, I don't want to be getting into nobody's parenting and their parents. But like, who raised you? Oh, did you elected to hang with the wrong motherfuckers in your regular life or whatever? Is this how you are so comfortable being a disgusting motherfucker, evil motherfucker? That's why you so comfortable with dealing with these evil motherfuckers? Is that the reason? It's all over the place. I try to get strange high on the worst place, DJ channel, and now both will come out with that BS. I give this hand. You checked the women on the other side months ago. Yes. Hell, yeah, because ain't nobody gonna tell me what the fuck to do. And I got the luxury of nobody even trying. They know not to pick up that phone and give me no direction. Because you gonna get it. I promise you. You think, oh, let me tell you something. It's so many people that's got records of me going in their ass offline. You think it'd be bad online? The shit I tell them offline, it be like, oh, like shit. Mm-mm. Now wait a minute, Nicole. I don't have no side. So what you mean by on the other side? What you mean by that? I'm not on the side. I'm straight in the middle. Let me know what side you're talking about. Yeah, but I couldn't even sleep at night. To, to know that being so, and the oh my god, and these people lie like it is nothing. They lie like it is the right thing to do. And be like, mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I pinned the link up at the top if anybody want to hit it. But I'm just saying, y'all, this is wow. Wow. And the fact that these people are so comfortable at doing it, these people will come online and we'll show their face. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't give a fuck. I listen, I don't discriminate. My reading is what? Bisexual. My reading is what? Bilingual. That means anybody can get it. You come fucking with me, that's what exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get it. Okay? And I don't forget shit, and I ain't the one to be all in that forgiveness. I ain't the one to be all that apologies. I don't ask for none, I don't give none. Get the fuck on. That's how I do. Yes. I'm an equal opportunity, affirmative action motherfucker. Anybody can get it. Anybody. I don't give a shit. That's crazy. I baby. That's off the chain, honey. I can't. I just can't do everything. I can't do that. I'm not built like that. And it's personal choice. It's also how I was raised, but Since I'm not being raised anymore, it's a personal choice not to do fuck shit. I don't hang around a whole bunch of fucked up ass people either. I figure out you on that fuck shit, I'm gonna walk my ass on up out here. I'm gonna call Tyson myself tomorrow. I don't personally believe all that. It could be true, but first, at least question the man. Everybody want to fall the killer case, but everybody don't want to play fair. Right. I get you, Shabazz. I get it. You know, but like people were saying, it could be an angry child saying that. It could be an angry child saying that. And I hope to God that's what it is, an angry child saying that. But let me see. Because I'm a good judge of, you know, hold on, a person ways. I can usually tell when something is up or not. Let me look, let me check something. Oh, okay. Oh man. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Let me look at something real quick. Real quick. 'Cause I can kind of tell. I took that profiling class. They taught us about observation, honey, observation. So let me see something real quick. That would probably tell me something. I can't talk y'all through what I'm doing, so this is how I determine who I'm gonna fuck with. I'm not one of the pieces I use. But let me see something real quick. Y'all, since I done goddamn sweated to death. Let me see something. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know, Shabazz. There might be some truth to this. I'm just saying. I checked a little something out. Might be some truth to this. I don't know. Because what I just did a little observation is a person's behavior, how they normally act to react. How they react to certain, to things, and how they normally do. It ain't there. So it might be some truth to this. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying, don't say. I'm not saying, just by my, what I looked at. I don't know. Certain people do the same things all the time. It's a little different. Now, I don't know what's the listen. But y'all, I'm saying, but it's crazy, right? It's crazy around here. There are people. I believe in this sector, they wish for a person death, maybe pray for it, or at least don't even give a damn if somebody die that they don't like, because they are thrown off. Who sits up here and you got to watch out for this too. They will make up a reason so they can justify their actions of going at your ass, showing out, all kind of shit like that. I don't have the enough. I don't have enough strength or the creativity. What I'm trying to say, creativity to do that. All right, Shabazz. I am Shabazz, baby. I don't know these people. I don't have nothing to do with it. None of this shit. I don't know these crazy ass people. These people are nuts. They nuts. They ain't about shit. I'm telling you. They ain't about shit riding or walking. I'm telling you. Don't be no fool. Let me tell you something. Another song that will make me run around the house, crying and shaking, trembling and snotting and hollering and screaming, is Jodeci's version. If you think you're lonely now, I heard Bobby Womack's version, and I personally like Jodeci's version. Right, honey, that boy sang that shit. Right, that happens all the time when some people get insulted. They keep up internet beef for views and bad soap opera commentary. Yes, it's like what are you doing? And some people are upset. Some people maybe don't understand that they already have an obsessive personality, right? So that means that if it comes to shit that's going on the internet or whatever, they are going to be obsessed with that particular situation or obsessed with a person, not even realizing that it's a little crazy because you don't even know that person and you don't have nothing to do with the situation. But mm-mm. And I'm not making it. And I know y'all be saying, "Oh, Miss Angie called everybody crazy." Miss Angie, Miss Angie called everybody like, "No, if you a liar, you a liar, because you keep getting caught in lies. You a liar." And if you exude behavior that tends to be fucking crazy, and something your ass something, you a little off. I ain't making this up. And y'all think that this be the first time they've heard it? No, they just ain't telling you. Somebody in they real life done told them you crazy and you a liar. They just don't tell you. This ain't the first time they heard it. Because I said it. No. That's why I don't give a fuck. That's why I don't mind giving out those jackets. You a liar. You crazy. Because I know this ain't the first time you done heard it. Hell, with a lot of these people, it ain't the first time they done heard it on YouTube. I'd be back the third or fourth person that said it. Shit. You crazy as hell. It's weird, y'all. I feel like I feel like I'm in a bad dream that I cannot wake up from. And I don't want to live like that. That's not how I do. Nope. Some people love this shit. Love YouTube. YouTube has become second nature. You know, they view it. They do all that. It's the weirdest shit ever. It's the weirdest and the wildest shit ever. And I have no words for it. But that telling people what to do shit or trying to, you know, whatever it is, it's crazy. I mean, you got people that would tell you that you ain't gonna tell them who to have on their channel panel, whatever, but try to tell you who to have on your channel panel. Like, huh? Tell you what to do. Mm-mm. Y'all, baby. Ooh, try. I be so glad when this shit slow down. 'Cause I want to take me a whole month about this shit. I do. I want to, because a lot of this stuff, it's not even for entertainment anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy as hell. Now, I'm telling y'all, don't fall for the bullshit right now. And be okay with somebody not liking you. Because you don't want everybody to like you. Do you want people that have characteristics of the devil to like you? Do you want a bunch of liars to like you? Do you want no? But that means that you got to look at yourself like, what the fuck is it about me that attract these type of people? No, I'm all right. All right with you not liking me. I'm okay. I'm okay, honey. When I tell you, child, you got to learn how to move. Um, you got to learn how to move very smart around here. You got to be the smart. Okay. When I talk about this ex-boyfriend, University of Florida, I I spent the better of a half a year telling that boy, when I get rid of you, hey, look here, boy, when uh, y'all, let me tell you, I was like, oh my God, because if y'all have ever been in relationships, whatever, for some reason, just saying, okay, you go your way, I go my way, no harm. It didn't work. That but somehow don't work out. It don't work that way. It got to be some bullshit, eh, you know, on the way out the door. So they goddamn University of Florida. Child, I thought, when I go to give examples of shit, oh man. I told that boy, I said, when I get rid of your ass, and it gets to the point where, and you heard my child, she said we can't get rid of people, right? So it be some type of goddamn something, right? Something. But here's the thing, right? When you try to get rid of the motherfuckers, it don't never work. Okay? But when they get rid of themselves, yeah. And that be the best shit ever. Because you're thinking and you're hoping that they done motherfucking decided in their mind to exit. So finally, let me tell you, finally I got, finally, University of Florida, he finally got tired of the bad treatment. Because I'm going to tell you, I have a plan what I do. I don't give a fuck. I share it with you. Y'all might need it. So you might want to get your paper. First thing I do is I just stop. I just stay on their ass. I just start. I just be rough. They don't get a breather. I be rolling my eyes at their ass, whatever. I make their ass uncomfortable. I'm hoping. Here's the back. Here's the play. I'm hoping that you say you get tired of my behavior and you go on about your business. Number two, I start withholding sex. Now that surely is going to make you get out there and find somebody else. That is going to make you cheat on me. I know y'all like, I know this. Is she for real? Yes, I am dead serious. Yes, yes. Now that's going to make you go out there and get somebody else. There's no way you got to do that. Come on now. Come on. I'm like, oh, so listen. So it finally worked on University of Florida. So he gets this girl. I'm like, woo, thank you, Jesus. Only for because we still we didn't have to be in the same situation, but he was cousin to a friend of mine, and I discovered that they were cousins, right? So anyway, and it was my daughter's AAU coach. It so happened that the girl he got with had a daughter that played basketball. I'm like, oh boy. So I step in down gym one day and it's him and her in there. I don't give a fuck. Because I'm thinking in my head, baby, you think you got you something, honey. Honey, when he gets, when he put that shit on your ass, you're going to be like, Lord have mercy. This is the worst mistake of my life. So I would sit there and grin. All she would do is just stare at me. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't give a damn. Because I knew that he is going to reveal himself to your ass. And it's going to be soon. So I was just being there grinning. As long as he ain't fucking with me. And when you know, he was still calling me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Anyway, child, they got married. They had a baby. And let me tell you, he got mad at me because I didn't go to his mom's and his grandmother's funeral. I don't do funerals like that. But we was on the outs anyway. And I mean, his family and myself were still close. But I wasn't going, I'm not, no, I don't want to do all that. So anyway, so he finally revealed himself to her ass. But this was after, and let me tell you something. He didn't have to tell her that him and I used to be engaged. Because I was walking in there like I didn't know y'all. I didn't know him. He ran his mouth to tell her and her daughter all about our goddamn relationship, every goddamn thing. I'm like, he run his mouth like a bitch. Yeah, I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So, what happened then? So, anyway, so I know I done told y'all this story a million times, so you know I'm still scarred. So, his ass, so anyway, she had a baby from him. She found out how his ass was. They broke up, right? So, but the daughter was still playing. Child, one day, that lady came up to me because that lady didn't like me. You know, she would just stare at me. I don't know if she didn't like me or not, but she would just stare at me. That's all she would do, stare at me. I'm like, what is wrong with this bitch? And I was seeing somebody else that was up there, used to be up there to the gym. So anyway, so that girl came up to me one day and pour her heart out. And it was like, I was like, honey, and I told her, I said, baby, all I was doing was grinning. Because here's the thing. After his mama and his grandmama had died, he got a whole big old bunch of money. And baby, they used to come in there, baby. I'm trying to tell you, I told y'all, like y'all remember when Martin and Gina thought they won the lottery? I told you that woman, that girl was wearing that boy mama mink coat in Florida. There is no season in Florida that requires you to have a mink coat. Like, are you crazy? None of that. We don't have no pimps up, hoes down situation, so you should have one on mink. People gonna look at you crazy. Like, where you going? Or anyway, child, that girl came and just walked up to me one day and just went aired it all out. Told me how he was. I was like, uh-huh, uh-huh. I said, you was be looking at me crazy, and I don't know what you was thinking, but all I was thinking is I'm happy y'all together, so he can stop fucking with me. Yes, I was woo. I'm trying to tell you, it got so bad. I told him I will hook you up with somebody. Oh my gosh, child. Woo. But let me tell you, after all of that, and I couldn't stand his ass. So he was, I mean, he was really, and I always used to trip with me for years. Just be so mad at me. He would go up to my new boyfriends and all of that want to know what the fuck was going on. Okay, it was just strange shit. So you can see why I wanted him out of my motherfucking life. But we got to a point, I don't know how this happened, but one day, oh, I'm gonna tell you how it happened. So we shared an event together, and every year he would call me two on throughout the year sometimes, but on two main occasions, one for my birthday and one on that event. And so he kept somehow I I eventually stopped damn near hating his guts, right? So he got sick and he had moved to Miami and stayed with his dad and his stepmom. And they was mistreating him. He had a real bad diabetes because he was diabetic both from his mom and his dad. He had ended up going blind. Yeah. Um, it was just a lot of shit was going on with him. And so they was mistreating him. And out of all the people, all that family that he had done helped and they had money and all that type of stuff, he called, he wanted to come back, he wanted to move back to Jacksonville so people could look after him or whatever. And he called me to see if he could stay with me. Yeah, after all that stuff, he called me to see if he could stay with me. And right, when a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. You right, baby. Ain't nothing you can do about it, child. Ain't nothing you can do, Nicole. And that was crazy because they know shit. I've seen like kind of I be having a goddamn boy in the house, shit. But he asked if he could stay with me or whatever. Yeah, but and the night, the day before he died, I had called. It was like six something, and I had called his number, his number, because I didn't know he was in the hospital. When I called his phone number, he picked up the phone and he was hollering and screaming. I was like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, I'm in the hospital, I'm in pain. The people won't come see about me, whatever. I hung up and I called that goddamn nursing station at Mayo. And when I hung up with the nursing station, I called him back. His dad was there. I called him back and they was coming in the room. So I said, okay, well, I'll talk to you later since they, came in the room. So the next day, I called him and I didn't get no answer. So I called his cousin and I said, you heard from your cousin? I said, because I told what happened the day, the day before. She's like, no, I didn't know he was in the hospital or nothing. I was like, oh, okay. So the next thing I knew, a friend of mine called and she said, you need to talk to Keisha. And everybody know me. I said, don't give me no bad news. So, but Keisha was the cousin I had uh, talked to earlier in the day. I like, what's going on, Chris? What's going on? She told me, just call Keisha. I like, what's going on? So I called Keisha and she told me he had died. So he died that next day. Yeah, 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 he had died that next day. It wasn't even 24 hours after I got up because I remember it was a little after six something when I called that nursing station. I'll never forget that. And the next day, to find he had died, I was like, oh no. And he had died, and my cousin buried him because I don't fuck around no funerals. My cousin buried him. And he was saying that he talking about, man, he had all kind of pretty women at that funeral. All kind of, I was like, yeah, I know. And that's how he is. All kind of pretty women. That's all what he was into. Crazy. I'll never forget that. He, uh, childless. I, I, uh, I have to tell y'all about them some other stories at another day. Oh, child. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, y'all don't believe me. I know some of my stalkers done played that call. You just go listen to the call on the channel by ex by the name of Ramon. He'll tell you what the hell he experienced with them guys. Uh, used to harass him He took me for. He said they harassed him for the sole purpose. He said they harassed him just because he was dating me. I was like, no, they didn't. He is scarred, honey. But yeah, I mean that boy. Oh man, we argued. It was so crazy. We had broke up like 10 years, and we was still arguing. And my best friend Tim had taken a liking to University of Florida, so they was cool. So Tim was, he wasn't trying to see Tim and University of Florida. They both played against FSU. And I dated FSU after I dated University of Florida. So that right there was already an issue. Plus, they didn't like FSU because they said that he was a pretty boy that was always whining and crying on the football field. But that's okay because he held a record at FSU for the longest amount of time. I don't know if somebody broke it or not, but yeah. So they didn't like him because they said that he was a pretty boy with good hair. So right there, they was bonding. Even though my best friend Tim, he's an FSU fan and University of Florida, played for University of Florida, but they they still, they were still real cool. He, when I tell you, he would always like for me to call Tim or whatever. But he tried to stand in the loop or whatever with us or whatever, but it was crazy. And you could on ESPN Classic, we would always me and my friend Tim, we would always see, University of Florida, him playing in on ESPN Classic. It was crazy. Oh, it was crazy times. But y'all, let me get on up off here. I'm just running my damn mouth. I've been done told y'all some good shit. But anyway, let me get on up out of here, y'all. Thanks again to the host, the hostess, and the guests, and everybody else. Make sure you what? Love yourself. What I say? Do good for somebody, do good for somebody else. Love you, something like that. I love you. Peace out. And hey, it's another one in the books. Till the next live. Peace. Good night, y'all.